Right, good evening everybody and welcome to this evening's Standing Orders Review Committee meeting on Monday the 18th of August 2025. Starting with apologies for absence.
I haven't had an apology, but Councillor Westby is not here.
Moving on, we have declarations of interest. Does anyone have any declarations of interest? None. And item 4 is the minutes of the Standing Orders Review Committee meeting held on the 9th of May 2025. Mindful that our membership has changed quite considerably since then.
Happy to propose it.
Yeah, I think you were the only person that was present.
Yeah, I've got those.
And Councillor Bircham, yeah. Okay, so can I have a proposer, a seconder, and a show of hands, please? That's carried. Next, we have item 5, public participation. Would any members of the public like to participate? Yes.
Okay, thank you. Looking through the things you've got tonight, the vexatious complaints policy, you've added bullet point 10 about the use of social media for people making unfounded accusations and misrepresentations. As far as I can see, the policy is about complaints. That's not a complaint, somebody commenting on social media. So I'm not sure how a complaints policy, which is in effect a toolkit for how to manage complaints, could be used to manage people's comments, which are not complaints. That's the first thing. The second thing, in the course of action section, you've made a very small but very important change, in that you've changed it to another clerk with either the chair or the deputy chair to decide what is vexatious. Now, until now, it's been the clerk with the chair and deputy chair, 3 people. It's now been put down to 2. Now, this increases the opportunities for collusion, in the sense of you've only got 2 people deciding if something is vexatious or not.
Which number is that, Andy?
Section 10,
Hang on, find the right bit.
underneath that.
It is
It's the
halfway down on the second page, where complainants have been identified as habitual or vexatious in accordance with criteria, the clerk, in consultation with the chair or vice chair, will take as appropriate, take one or more of the following courses of action. So what you've got there is it's cut it down to 3 people making that decision down to 2. And it, which I
I
think
haven't
is,
changed much.
no, you changed and to and or. So it was the clerk with the chair and deputy chair. It's now the clerk with the chair and or deputy chair. So it's taken it from 3 people making a decision down to 2.
Yeah, but what happens if you keep the and in with the chairman and vice chairman? What happens if the vice chairman isn't available,
Well,
or vice versa? So the reason I put and or is in case one of them isn't here or available.
I just thought it's raising an issue where it increases opportunities for collusion, where 2 people
Yeah,
can make a decision far easier than 3 people.
However, you would have your hands tied completely if you kept it with and.
Yeah,
Because
well, that's
Could you go following on from that? Could you add and or another committee member, rather than, so you've got there would always be 3 people making the decision.
It's up to the council when we get to that item.
yeah. It's something I wanted to raise.
Yeah.
Moving on to the standing orders, a new file was uploaded this afternoon that's different to the one that's uploaded with the original agenda. Now, the version uploaded today is far closer to the May 25 standing orders. There was a lot of changes made in the one that was around last week.
Yeah.
Those have been updated and it's now very, very similar. However, those last minute changes will make it much harder for councillors to make informed decisions, and also for members of the public to know what's going on. Because if I hadn't looked this afternoon, I would be unaware that there'd been a last minute change. And I think it was around about 3 o'clock for 6 o'clock meeting, and 3 hours before a meeting to change a document. It's very, very last minute.
Yeah, it was very last minute.
Not included with, as you're looking at standing orders, not included within the bit that you put up online, is a section. You've got a section that only allows members of the public to speak on matters on the agenda that was raised at the last full council meeting, where Andy said that only agenda items could be spoken about. Now, Sharon, you yourself have said to me in the past that you make the decision on what goes into correspondence. when I sent you a correspondence to be included in the meeting, and you said no, it wouldn't go in, and that you made that decision. If we can't raise things at a council meeting, and if we send in a letter or a correspondence and you decide it can't be spoken about, you've really reduced the opportunities for members of the public to raise issues with the council. So that was an extra issue on the standing orders. Looking at the financial regulations, again, a new version was uploaded this afternoon, much closer to the original version. Again, very last minute change. But what I've noticed, you've removed reference to the LAB toolkit, which seems a retrograde step.
Yeah, I have, because we no longer subscribe to Norfolk Outboard now. We now subscribe to Norfolk PTS.
Okay.
So for our advice, so I've taken that off just because we don't subscribe to them.
And finally, all the documents were agreed by the council 3 months ago in May. So what's changed so much that means that policies, and important policies, which are standing orders, have to be revisited 3 months after they were first looked at?
It's the Procurement Act 2023 that was passed in February, 24th February 2025. So that information was not sent to me by our advisors in time for the May meeting, so I was unaware of them. Although they have been scooting around since 2023, they weren't actually approved until February 2025. So really, they, at the time that we approved them, I didn't have that information before me, or the final act or whatever, which was published February 25. And that's the answer.
Okay, thank you.
Any other members of the public? No? Okay, we'll carry on then. Next on the agenda, we have item 6, review of standing orders for consideration and resolution. Does anyone have any comments on the draft policies as presented? Councillor Bertram?
I haven't had time to review the latest document come out this afternoon, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Sorry, I just haven't had time.
Councillor D'Souza?
Thank you. I was going to mention actually what member of the public brought up about the slight change of wording of and or the vexatious policy. I just wanted to check. Is there a reason that
That's item
That's
8.
item 8.
Oh, sorry. No, come on. I'll bring it on there.
Chairman, on item 6, do you want to give a summary on the amendments to the document that was circulated late this afternoon, or would you prefer to determine?
If everyone's happy for us to defer it, I don't want you to approve anything that you feel as if you've been rushed into. The reason why I was so late in getting it, because I've been seeking advice from Norfolk PTS, and I had one email this morning, then I went back with a query and I really didn't get an answer from the officer, who then called me back round about sort of like 1 o'clock time. So then I had to make some amendments where I've got the answers, hence why you've got this very late. So it's probably better to get it right, and if you have to defer those items, then so be it. Yeah.
Can I propose that we defer it then, just give us something longer to review the policy?
Yeah.
What would the preference be, to have another standing order review committee meeting, or to take it straight to full council?
Oh, yeah.
Why don't we take it to the full council on the first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Might as well,
the
if all the members are happy with that.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Would that be the same with the next item as well?
Next time.
I think so,
If I-
because obviously
Regs,
those two go
they-
hand in hand,
they
don't
do,
they?
Yeah, I've tried to align them, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
There weren't that many changes, but I did, I wanted to hold back on the chart, if you like,
Yeah.
that's the main difference.
So I've had a chance to review.
Yeah, okay, no worries. Sorry about that.
next then we have item 8, which is the vexatious policy. Councillor D'Souza,
Thank
do you
you.
want to proceed?
Thank you. I was just going to obviously reiterate what the member of the public brought up. The slight change of wording obviously can be construed as potentially ambiguous. Is there a potential reason for that change in the vexatious policy? Is anything current that's going on that we need to that has changed that?
Well, when you look at the definition, it says complainants and or anyone acting on their behalf may be deemed to be habitual or vexatious where previous or current contact with them shows that they meet one of the following criteria where complainants, and then you've got the points. So that point is not to be used on its own. So you could actually, in order to qualify that, you could have items 1 to 9 and then 10. The idea was that would complement items 1 to 9 rather than going straight to social media, because obviously, and I do get the point, Andy, about the it being, you know, complaints, etc. But a person's behaviour who normally will put in excessive, you know, emails that could be repetitive and they do take up a lot
Sorry,
of
Sharon, I
time.
think it's, it was more of the and or rather than number 10, wasn't it, Dom?
Well, yeah, it's 2 points, the and or,
Yeah.
and obviously, is there anything current
Yeah.
to?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, the and/or, I think I've just, I did explain that,
Do you think it would be appropriate, Sharon, just
yeah, I mean,
taking
it's up to
taking
you.
consideration
Yeah.
of the comments that have been made, to keep it so that it's the chairman and deputy chairman
Yeah.
of the council,
Yeah.
and in one of their absences, a chairman of a committee that is available. And then that gives you another 3
Well,
houses.
I would still personally prefer if that was chairman and deputy chairman consulted on any complaints.
Yeah, but which one's away? And you-
Wait until they're back.
Yeah.
What if they're,
Yeah.
Just wait until they're back.
Or,
Has it been in its head that someone's been away and we've had to change?
yeah.
As chairman, what do you think, councillor Westling?
I think,
And
chairman and vice chairman.
yeah,
okay, well, we'll do
I mean, if there's an extenuating circumstance where one of them is absent long term, then we'd have to put it to council, maybe, or I think that the likelihood of that happening is pretty remote.
So we don't do any more amendments, we just take out the or?
If people agree, yeah.
I agree, yeah. Can I propose?
Just before, I will take that proposal, but do you think that perhaps, if members are minded and they don't want to open it up to the chairman of all committees, perhaps just the chair and vice chair of the personnel committee as it's relating to complaints, so there is some flexibility.
As a substitute.
I've minded that you're 2 of those, so then it would just be that if I wasn't available, it would be Vera. Or if you weren't available, it would be Vera.
That's not.
I'm happy for that, I agree with that, yeah.
I think it just,
Personnel's the most-
I feel like it's a middle ground that
It's the
allows
most
a
relevant,
little
it's the most relevant to the
flexibility.
I'm happy to
commission.
change them.
Yeah.
Councillor Bertram, is it your proposal seconded by Councillor D'Souza, or,
I'm happy to propose it.
Okay, Dom goes,
Yeah.
I'll second. Yeah.
show of hands, please? That's unanimous.
Thank you.
Well, that was a quick meeting, wasn't it? Moving on.
That's enough.
Right.
I've got item 8, public participation.
Well, that must be number 9, wasn't it? Pet sectors.
Oh, yeah, I've got 8 twice on this agenda,
Come on.
Sharon.
I've got
Two snowmen.
can I just add something to the, it's
Oh,
not, it's not
yeah.
in the proposal. I just want to ask, on section 10, can I just ask who decides what's unreasonable and what's unfolded? Please,
Sorry?
just want to ask the unreasonable conduct, section 10,
Yeah,
who obviously decides that it's unreasonable and who decides that it's unfounded accusations?
yeah, but that would be for whoever is discussing it, so if it comes to council,
Yeah.
whoever is, you know, because it's hard to say who's going to do it, but I would imagine that because it's a complaint, it could be the council might be dealing with it,
Okay,
or it could be, if it's personnel, obviously they could deal with it, and
Yeah.
they would choose.
thank you, Sharon.
I didn't see any hands eagerly pop up, but do we have any takers? Yes, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, it's just, wasn't that. When you put in your revised policy up, would it be possible to put the whole revised policy,
Yeah,
not just the extract?
okay,
Because
yeah,
it's really tricky trying to compare an extract of one policy
yeah,
with a whole policy. So if you put literally, I know it means that most of it will still be the same, but it allows for fair comparison then.
yeah, that's absolutely fine.
No? Well, thank you everyone for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
I'm getting this cold. I'm getting this cold. So I lost my voice. Right?
Are these two got there? That's the agenda. There you go. Pardon?
Did you say that?
No,
There were
8.
two A's, weren't
Oh,
there?
and there were 2 8s.
Two snowmen.
Okay. Yeah.
How old are you?
It's cards, it's cards. It's poker hand, 2 A's or two snowmen.
It's not a bingo call.
No.
Yeah.
We'll be careful.